Now, 2012 closed on a rather sad note when Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar hung his gloves and said goodbye to ODIs forever. A move that has sparked many a conversation among marketers and advertisers across the country. What happens now? Can brand Sachin outlive its cricketing career? With strong rumours that he will retire from all forms of the game by 2015, and with most of his endorsements coming to an end in 2014, what's the plan for these brands and how badly will the little master be hit, if at all? Tara Kapoor answers just that question.
He started his ODI career with 2 ducks, but went on to smash every record in the book. He has decimated some of the best bowling attacks across the world.
I never saw myself play, but I feel that this fellow is playing much the same as I used to play.
I'm talking about none other than Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket. But alas, even God has his day. And on the 23rd of December 2012, we all shed a tear when Sachin retired from one-day internationals. And while we will still tell tales of his legendary performances on the field, will his ethereal presence continue to work magic for him off the field with his many endorsement deals?
In terms of pure numbers, I think the number of endorsements that he has will decrease. So if Sachin's endorsing, I would say, in the region of 15 to 20 brands, that will significantly decrease to maybe 5 or 6 brands. Having said that, I don't think the value will decrease.
Similar example would be like a Kapil Dev or Gavaskar, because as they age also you've got the younger generation coming in and taking over the space that these guys occupied. So I think Tendulkar definitely by 2016-17 will have a very few brands, probably 1/3 or 1/4 of what he has currently.
Here's a quick look at his current brand portfolio. Right now, the Master Blaster has 16 brands in his kitty, with the likes of Coca-Cola, Toshiba, Boost and Adidas all doling out anywhere between 4 to 6 crores each to have the cricketing legend as their brand ambassador. But this pretty picture won't last forever, and the industry estimates that his endorsement rate may fall as much as 50% in the coming years, with a maximum of 4 to 5 brands in his kitty. A similar fate that fell on ex-captain of India, Sourav Ganguly.
I still endorse about 6 brands since the time I finished playing, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for Sachin Tendulkar. I think it reduces. Like when I was captain, I was endorsing 18 brands, like Dhoni does now. So these things are part and parcel of a sportsman and a professional life.
I think the brand Sachin is taken a big hit in the way he's retired, the timing of the retirement, and also the speeches that he's made in this retirement. I mean, this could have been the biggest event this country would have seen, which is his retirement. And he's just taken it so quietly and so badly timed that the brand is 100% going to take a beating.
While Sachin's number of brands will definitely take a hit as he retires from all forms of the game, what's interesting is that Sachin and his management team are attempting to broker deals with his current kitty of brands with a retirement plan in mind. Case in point, Adidas, where before Sachin's ODI retirement announcement came out in the public domain, the brand was informed of the decision and reworked his contract accordingly.
I think definitely everyone will renegotiate contracts or try to, because that's something that he's given a window to people to renegotiate, so I think they will. When you look at brands like Adidas, where it's a direct impact because he's no longer visible on the field and it's a sports brand, there I think there'll be a lot more room for negotiation, and definitely you can see a price to drop between 30 to 40%, even 50%. From the bat endorsement to the shoes to the pads. And as he announces retirement from Test cricket after ODI, I think that will be the point where a lot more negotiation will happen.
Unfortunately, popular belief is that Sachin might have started his long-term retirement strategy a little too late.
I've failed over and over and over again in my life.
Globally, a sportsman's retirement is generally planned out in a much better manner and for the long term. A prime example would be legendary basketball player Michael Jordan. Jordan has had a tremendous association with brands like Nike, Gatorade and Hanes. And as a result, almost a decade after his retirement from the sport, he earns more from his endorsement deals than he did during his years as a sportsman. And while Sachin Tendulkar might be of a similar caliber in terms of ability, he unfortunately seems to have made the same mistake of cricketers in the past. signing up too many endorsement deals during the peak of his career and not developing long-term brand associations.
I think very few celebrities in India have handled post-retirement well. That's a function of various things. I think one is most managers tend to have a short-term approach to things, and retirement is, it's a lifelong plan, so you can't have a short-term approach. Secondly, also, I think the opportunities that exist in the West, be it a licensing or merchandising deal, didn't quite exist in India, while that's slowly starting to happen now, and I think a lot of celebrities sort of see value today in a licensing deal. Even 5-6 years ago, that was a category that was non-existent in the Indian market.
Currently, most of Sachin's endorsement contracts are set to expire between now and 2014. Most of these brands are all set to utilize the nostalgia factor, as fans will want to consume Sachin Tendulkar in some manner or the other, as he will be seen less and less on the field. However, this factor will not last for long, as the cricketing legend hasn't managed to extend his equity into long-term licenses. Boost, one of his longest-standing brand associations, highlights this point. The brand will be associating with Sachin till their contract ends.
The more I play,
the more I learn. Boost is the secret of our energy.
But as shown in their latest campaign, are on the lookout for a new kid on the block. And this is something the younger breed of cricketers, be it Dhoni, Yuvraj Singh or Virat Kohli, seem to be paying much more attention to.
Sports marketing is opening up in this country, so the opportunities that the younger generation of cricketers have today are a lot more than what the Sachins and the Dravids and the Gangulys had in their heydays. So today, whether you look at merchandising, whether you look at a personal line, whether you look at the digital space, all these avenues are opening up in a big way for the younger athletes and the younger cricketers moving, coming up in the ranks.
Brands are not sentimental. One chairman of a company may say, no, we will never throw Sachin out. That's a different issue. Most marketing directors are all about return on investment. So if Sachin is not, he's not going to be visible, he's not going to be controversial, he's not going to be in the field, then why would a brand, brand manager invest in brand Sachin? For what?
In the 1990s, if you were an Indian cricket fan worth your salt, and Sachin Tendulkar had just been given out in a one-day international, the unwritten rule was simple: switch the TV off. But the times have changed, and the challenge for Sachin going forward will be how to keep the TV sets on in his non-cricketing avatar. An innings that looks tough given the fact that he is still missing a long-term strategy in terms of his endorsement deals.
I'm Sachin Tendulkar. This is my story.